Hi Andrei, thank you for sending in your essays for some feedback. My name's Daphne, one of the essay correctors here at IELTS podcast. So you've done the exam before, but you didn't prepare, and now you're doing a bit more preparation. That sounds great, and you are looking for band 6 in everything. Okay, so let's have a look at this writing. So the first one, task 1, you recently discovered there are plans to construct an airport near your locality. Write to the authority. You should explain how you knew about the plans, the negative effect on your neighbourhood, and a possible solution. Okay, so I wouldn't write that. I know you kind of might write that sometimes in an email, but because this is really an exam and they're looking for certain things, you'd have to write dear sir or madam. In which case you'd have to end yours faithfully. Yeah, that's fine. And writing a connection with the airport construction, or the possible, because it's not definite, airport construction which is planned to start in August. So I put in that there, which is planned, ed. It's a passive verb, this. It's a present passive, to start in August, capital A for August. Okay? I just get to know about that from a local group on Facebook. Okay, I have heard, I've just got to know, it will be I've just got to know, is a little bit informal, but I have heard, you need the present perfect tense, about this from. Okay, keep it formal writing. I've heard about this from a local group on Facebook. They claim it will take 100 square kilometres of forest and field to build this new airport. Good. I'm very upset about this fact because it will bring a lot of negative impacts in our neighbourhood. Very good. First of all, it would destroy such a nice oasis of nature where all the people like to spend time in. Now, we don't say all the people, we say everyone. Okay? Where everyone likes to spend time. You don't need that. This forest brings oxygen, as you know, and it's also, so no capital there. Spelling oxygen is E, as you know, and it is also the habitation of birds and some wild. Okay. Secondly, the airport itself is a source of noise and toxic plants, which will hurt a lot of people around. Okay, so there's a lot of detail in there. You don't necessarily need to write that much. You can, but you don't need to. So you're going into the, for example, you don't think you need that. Yeah. Secondly, the airport itself would be, now here they haven't built it yet, so you're right to use would. Would be a source of noise and toxic exhaust from planes, which would, again, be extremely damaging for the whole neighbourhood, or the whole, neighbourhood. Okay? Okay, that is the correct spelling in English. It wants me to use American spelling, which I'm not going to. So, for the neighbourhood. Okay? I would like to present one possible solution. Either one of the possible solutions or one possible solutions. If you're using one of possible solutions, you've got to have the, which is to build the airport 15 kilometres further on the east, where fewer people live. Much less people, you would say technically fewer people live, and there are no forests, just old factories. Now, instead of old factories, I'd say disused factories. Okay, so this should be, fewer. And rather than old, I'd use disused. I hope my letter will make you think about the situation, think more carefully or think deeper. I think deeply works, but it doesn't really work here. So I'd say think more carefully. About this situation. Watch out, you need some articles. Watch out, you need an article here. Okay, yours faithfully. That's a good letter. Well done. You've got lots of details in there. You're answering the question very clearly. That looks fine. Well done. So that doesn't look like you're finding that too hard. So some people feel the effects of advertising are positive for individuals and businesses. Others think they're negative. Discuss both sides. Give your opinion. Okay, so this is quite a nice essay. The essay title we give you is much harder than this. So be careful if you're choosing your own titles to practice that you choose difficult ones. Okay, some people feel the effects of advertising are positive, others think they're negative. Okay. For sure, advertising is a large part of our everyday life. It's hard to imagine the modern world without it. Internet, billboard, posters, TV, radio, prints on clothes and transport. All those are platforms for advertisement. It's a main source of money income for many magazines. Celebrities have become ambassadors. Okay. Now, when you're writing for an IELTS essay, it needs to be very highly structured. So you want 4 clear paragraphs. You want your intro, where you're going to make a statement about the title, really paraphrase this, and introduce your essay. Then you're going to have a first paragraph which is talking about the positive effects, second paragraph which is going to talk about some of the negative effects, and then a shorter conclusion. So the balance in this isn't looking right. So in your intro here, for sure is too informal. And the other problem here is that you've got a lot of listing going on. So you're listing all this here, and then you're listing all this here. So have 3 maximum things. There's too many here, okay? And you want to introduce your essay. So you want to say something like, nowadays, advertising is part of our everyday life, and it's hard to imagine the world without it, because advertisements appear in many places, such as, okay, so that'd be nice as a first sentence. Many commentators feel we need this, or that it's essential. However, critics believe advertising can be negative because it encourages people to spend money, or something like that. So listen to that again really carefully. That's the kind of intro you want. And then you want to give your opinion. I believe that it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. And then kind of indicate why. So that's really is your intro. Don't say much about say what you think, but you don't need to go into that much detail. But that is the job that your intro should be doing. Then here, some people consider commercials as a good thing, okay? So link this together, because they provide us information about products, services, innovations, how to make our life easier and more comfortable, and how to work more effectively. Good. You don't need that. Well done, that's nice there, good. It's a common situation when people don't even know about some ways of problem resolving until they learn it from an advertisement. Yes, okay, so when we're thinking about the positive sides, so advertisements serve not only to inform consumers about new ideas, which is really expanding on what you're saying here, new ideas and innovations, they also allow people to discover ways of solving problems, such as, and I think you should give an example there, because presumably you're talking about a product that might solve a problem. So I think you need to, so you might have innovations such as electric cars, something like that, solving problems such as, and then giving an idea of what the problem might be. So quite sort of structured. So you want a good topic sentence, strong first sentence, develop your sentence, and then you want to have an example. So for example, recent surveys have shown that, and then you're going to connect to the positive aspects of advertising or the power of advertising. Now, the online course, which is a series of videos done by Ben and essay corrections done by me, would really, really help you, give you the structure of this essay, because I think once you know what you're meant to be doing and once you've got an idea in your head, I think that will really, really help you. Ben builds up your essay sentence by sentence, really showing you exactly what order to get it into. Excuse me. So you needn't have an example here. And then you want to come into this, however. There are undoubtedly some downsides connected to advertising and over consumption, which is people buying too much, even if it is good for the economy. That's bringing in your line here about the economy. So if I put that in, that's my correction there, and then you start a strong sentence up here indicating you're changing direction. They claim advertisements force us to buy things we don't actually need, overconsumption, exactly, and they find videos very annoying. Okay, so you don't need that. Good. Don't start with and, but lead in and. They find annoying, repetitive, and unnecessary. Something like that, okay? And then you've got example, recent research. Okay, so then you want another example, and Ben shows you exactly what to do. So you can see these paragraphs are going to be longer with more detail in them and more complex sentences. Here, you just want in conclusion. You don't need a whole big paragraph on your conclusion, on your opinion. So in conclusion, I believe you can't have a rather bad thing. It's a little bit informal. You say it is not, it's often not wanted or whatever. It's not a secret that marketers play a very important or even main role in business. There's such a thing as aggressive marketing. Companies realise it's better to produce items with low reliability in short periods to be able to sell it again. Bad for ecology, production being... Okay, so you've got lots and lots of ideas here, but normally we don't bring in new ideas into the conclusion. So you're bringing in a whole load of new ideas right at the end. Some of these are good ideas, in which case build them into your paragraphs. So that's quite important that you can do that, okay? So the conclusion should be much shorter. You don't need all these ideas. You haven't got time to bring them in. If it's something negative, bring it into here. If it's something positive, bring it into there. Okay? And then your conclusion should just recap on those ideas and just say your opinion. Okay? So you've got lots of good stuff going on here. The biggest problem, I think, is the organisation. So that's something that I would absolutely look at on the course, is the coherence and the cohesion. We also then need to look at the more formal level of writing. So you've got a lot of informal writing here, and we need some complex long sentences with lots of grammar in. So it's definitely worth investing in some progress and some help, and that will really help to get you the grade that you want. So I hope this has been useful, and well done.